Welcome back, everyone, to the Dirt X Podcast, episode 17. I'm Jacob Dove, along with Jacob Perry. And on today's episode, we have young 14-year-old rising star in the dirt late model ranks, Beckham Malone. Beckham, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad to be on here. Thanks for the invite. I know you've been trying to get a hold for a while, so finally can hop on and get to it.
Yeah, you're a busy kid, obviously, coming from, with the racing background at a young age, and you're only 14, coming out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, and making some noise. Recently, I was watching the Charlotte World Finals, and you kind of had a pretty good showing there. So, kind of just talk about your 2025 racing season. Obviously, it was jam packed, and you raced a lot. So, kind of brief us on how you felt as a driver.
Felt really good. I know we were accomplishing a lot of stuff as a driver and as a crew too. Going to a lot of new tracks in the Super. We got top five in that Shaper's Oil deal in points. I got P3 at one of the races. I think it was the last race. I got P3. Accomplished a lot of stuff. We're happy about everything. Made it to the dome. Did good there for our first time. Went to Charlotte, made the Saturday night race to be the youngest one to do it. That's pretty cool. I mean, I know I'm just as fast as those drivers, just I make more mistakes, but as long as I keep on learning, those mistakes will go away and I'll just be right there with them.
What was the dome? What'd you think of it?
The dome was fun. The only thing about it was hard to make the show because they take
Mhm.
two from everything. Like, if they took 4, I don't think everybody would be fighting to get to a position. It wouldn't be as big of a wreck fest. But, like, whenever you take 2, everybody's just trying to kill each other, making it to the top spot. But it was fun racing overall. I loved it. Had a great time there. Celebrated my birthday there. Had a fun time.
Yeah, it seems like it's, really easy to get buried early with a bad
Mhm.
qualifying run. I mean, you're done. I mean, unless you completely avoid all the chaos, and even then, like, even our sponsor driver, Kyle, he avoided everything and still couldn't make the show because he had a shit qualifying. But, yeah, it's fun. It's from a fan standpoint, it's awesome, and from a driver standpoint, I know a lot of people hate it, but I was glad to see you out there. It's cool.
Yeah, it was really fun. If I didn't get in that one wreck in my heat race, I think I would have had a better night, and we could have made the dome night, I feel like. Or we would have been further up in a B main than what we were.
And for the viewers that might not know you, Ed, and this is the first time getting to know you, kind of just brief them about your background in racing. I know you started at a young age and you're still a young driver right now, but I know you had some pretty good accomplishments in the micro ranks and the legend ranks. I know the big races up there. Well, I'm in Florida, so up there in Atlanta Motor Speedway on the small track, and just kind of talk about that.
But yeah, so I started off at 8 years old running bandos at home. There was right there at Charlotte, ran there for a while. Had my first ever win at Atlanta on the short track. And then I ran the AMP championship. I won that. It was a road course race. It was really fun. And then we went to some micro stuff at Millbridge. Ran that for a while. Got one win whenever I first started. And then I moved up into the ranks at Millbridge with the bigger people. It's way harder. I've gotten a lot of top fives and all that. It's really tough to win there. I ran some asphalt late model stuff. Pretty sure I got second every race. Couldn't beat George Phillips, but it was always a great time racing with him. Got second in the championship. Thing about the starting where I started to where I am now is kind of crazy because I started in asphalt. I made asphalt late models and I kind of saw I was going to carry on with asphalt. But then I jumped into a 602 at Charlotte in 23, one at Charlotte, and then sold all the asphalt stuff. Kind of just went all dirt. We still run the micros. We were supposed to run Chili, or not Chili Bowl, Tulsa. And then, but I chose the Dome over Tulsa because I've been to Tulsa before. So that was a good experience. And I feel like it helped a lot with the fans coming out. Helped me a lot.
So what's the main focus going into this year? Obviously late model, but, like, what's the, criteria?
Main focus is to be very competitive. We know we have the car. We know we have the driver. So I feel like every race we go into, we should be in an A main. Every track we enter should be in an A main, up there top 10. I feel like we have a good enough car, we have a good driver to do that, and I feel like we really need to show people that the age, since I'm 14, doesn't really matter. I can still drive up there with the bigger people and show them I can beat them.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a lot of kids your age grow up, and a lot of them are great. Around my area, Justin Allgaier was whipping a late model at your age and doing very well with it. Obviously, Bobby Pierce around my area as well, same age as you. He was winning summer Nats race, but so it's not so much an age thing. Like you're going to develop into it for sure. Have you picked what you're going to chase, or are you going to chase anything?
I think we're gonna commit to hunt the front, and then I think we're gonna run some. I know we're running hunt the front. We're gonna run a lot. I know we're committed to hunt the front. We're gonna be running a lot of other things too, though, with it.
Yeah, I believe you said that you're going to run a lot of the World of Outlaws events, running
We'll
speed
start off
weeks next
running a
year.
few War of Outlaw events with it. So the
Yeah.
start of the year, first race will be at Volusia, World of Outlaws. We'll run that speed weeks, and then going off of how we do, we might run more, or if we don't do the best, we might not run as much more, but we'll still be running them.
How are you feeling about that? I know last year when I was there at Volusia, a lot of guys were tearing up stuff. Guys were on their third engines already, and those guys were banging on panels, and it was just really rough. And I know over the off season they put some more dirt down at Volusia and tried to make the surface a little bit better for the amount of racing that goes on there. I mean, there's sprint cars showing up there. There's big block modified, UMP modified. So it's a busy track throughout January, February, all the way into March. So what are your expectations going into speed weeks?
Knowing we have the car, I feel like we'll have a great week. As long as we'll have a backup, as long as we can keep that primary car that's going to be the best going, I think we'll be better off. I think we'll be really good. We'll have the car. It's just the driver has to keep the right mindset and everything on going.
So what happens if you pull a rabbit out of your ass and win a gator? Does that change your commitment plans?
If I think if we win a Gator, we'll commit to World of Outlaws. I
Figured
think
so.
we
Just
will.
wanted to make sure my theory was right.
Are you sticking with the same, as far as equipment goes with the Longhorns and stuff? I know you had some support with Wesley Page and all that, and I know you had some experience being teammates with Ross Bales. Obviously, he's another South Carolina driver, but you're basically sticking with everything for next year as far as equipment wise.
Yes, we'll be sticking with everything. Um, we're gonna stick with what we know. Wesley Page shocks, we'll be sticking with them. We'll be running those shocks and everything. We'll keep on running. So we have a Clements motor and a Randy Clary motor. We'll be running Clements motor in our primary, and I think we'll have a Randy Clary motor in our backup. Both have the same amount of horsepower and everything.
Yeah, I remember watching you at Alltech for the first time, and you showed up with a 602 and a 604, and both cars were really pretty, nice and clean. You guys did a great job, setting them up and everything. I was like, man, like who's this Beckham Malone kid, And you end up doing pretty solid in both of them. So, seeing how much progress you've made from the 602 and the 604 now with the supers, definitely excited to see what you do in 2026.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about that too. I know we might get into some other cars too. Not completely sure yet, but I'm pretty sure we will be in something else. It's still dirt, but be different.
Is it going to have one of the big stupid wings on top?
No,
Okay. All right. At
not
least we're
wing.
on the right path here.
He's
So,
not a
I
push
mean,
and flip guy.
yeah, you better not be. I'll stop this thing right now. So, what do you think some of your advantages and disadvantages are? Obviously, due to your age. I mean, do you have a respect issue back in the pits? I would doubt it personally, but I mean, is that a thing? Is I don't want to say bullying. I don't think it's quite a bullying, but is it like a cold shoulder type of situation back there sometimes?
Not really. Whenever it comes to my respect, I try to give respect to earn it back to like big drivers like JD and Bobby and all them. But like once I'm going against somebody and I give them respect and they don't want to give me the respect they got and they run through me, I kind of give it back or I just don't try to respect them anymore and move on.
I feel like the trap that younger drivers and not just your age, I mean, even clear up 6 years, 8 years ahead of you is obviously, throttle mashing and trying to do too much at times. And I don't feel like not that I've seen that you fall into that trap too much. And I think that's going to be a big plus for you is, a lot of people have to overcome the stigma of who they were 10 years ago. You know what I mean? And I don't think you fall into that trap. I mean, do you feel yourself like, hey, I need to go be stupid here in this corner? I mean, do you feel that temptation and kind of fight against it, or is it just not in your blood?
No, I feel like you should not drive stupid into a corner and all that. I feel like you should drive the right way. Like, I feel like once you try to drive stupid into a corner, that's when the bad things happen. Like, you drive stupid into the corner, run in the top, there goes your deck. It's gone.
Mhm.
That ruins your race. If you use your head and be smart about driving into the corner, especially with how many laps you probably have, it's all different. If you use your head and drive it smart, and you still have a deck by the end of the race, you're gonna do better than the people that are be stupid and drive it in there hard
Mhm.
and knock their deck off first lap.
And
Yeah,
I think
obviously
you're
we're not
well
gonna.
beyond your years there with what you're saying, truthfully. What are some of I mean, obviously your disadvantages experience. That's no secret, right? What do you think some of your other
Yes.
disadvantages are, if any at all?
Honestly, I don't have any other disadvantages. I mean, yes, whenever it goes slick, I'm still learning that era, trying to get that pedal there where I
Mhm.
can control it whenever I'm running that slick. Like All Tech, Charlotte, all those big tracks that get slick, like Eldora, those will all help you the more you run them. Like, more you run Swainsboro, let's say All Tech, where it gets black top to bottom, more you race those black tracks, the more you'll gain the experience for them. So you won't end up like you learn more you go and more you run those black tracks and you just learn a lot.
And I feel like one of your advantages though as a young driver is too that you don't have to have everything figured out right now. It's kind of trial and error, see where you're good at, where your positive and negatives are, and pros and cons and all that. So I know on your website it said that one of your goals was to be a NASCAR Cup Series driver one day. I feel like a lot of young racers have that aspirations of doing it. It's really hard, really tough. Not saying that you can't do it, but is that still one of your main goals? Or if you keep doing so on the dirt ranks, I know between me and cushion banging are gonna want you to stay around in the dirt ranks.
Yeah, don't be a traitor.
Yeah, I want to stay under. I'm not going to go throw money into NASCAR ride or anything. Like, if I could be like, there's a lot of people that, like, Corey Day ran dirt his whole life, but got offered to run a car for him on asphalt, a stock car, Xfinity. And if I can get offered like that by driving, showing how good I am, and winning a lot of big races in the dirt ranks, I'm not just going to throw money to go into NASCAR. I want to at least try to earn it because I feel like I am where I am now and I love running the class I am in. So I don't really feel like pouring a lot of money into that NASCAR side whenever I've been running dirt. If I could get an offer, that would be really good.
I know, I think that makes a ton of sense, and I think that's a lot of trap a lot of people fall into is, dumping all this and hoping for a NASCAR ride to when they could have done something else and been successful as shit, and
Hmm.
I think it's a trap that not a lot of people realize is, you could go run even asphalt guys, you can go run ASA, you can, and that's being way more popular in the last 3 years than it ever has been. Thank you, the good Lord Dale Jr. for that, and Harvick and whoever else, but I feel like that's a good plan and trap, and, you don't wanna be one of them stupid asphalt guys anyway.
Yeah, I really like the dirt path more. But if I could get a ride and I can get into the car without having to throw a whole lot of money into it, I'll take the offer. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like it's kind of like stupid not to. You
Listen,
don't.
you can only call yourself a former NASCAR driver once. You can't say no to that. Like, that's just I hate on it a lot, but I don't expect you to say, "No, I wanna run dirt." No, that's stupid. Of course, you're gonna take the shot, But
Yeah.
yeah.
And speaking of dirt, we got some big dirt races coming up here. One that I'll be attending. Very grateful to be going to my first ever Chili Bowl Nationals coming up next week. I know Cushion Banging is jealous of me, but that's okay. He was at Gateway without me. And we also got the Wild West Shootout. So we'll talk about the Wild West first. We are kind of talking off camera. Biggest car count in a while. A lot of big names showing up. You got RTJ only showing up for one night. Unfortunately, he's got priorities with the Chili Bowl, but he's running with Daniel Adam in a different ride. Just a one-off deal there. And then we got JD showing up, Bobby Pierce, Brandon Shepard. Even guys like Garrett Albertson and Chris Simpson are kind of the local guys and stuff. So, what are your thoughts, Beckham? I'm sure you're going to be tuned in to Flow Racing to watch it. Like I said, it's going to be top guys are showing up. So, I expect you to know that. What are some guys that you're going to be looking forward to seeing up front?
For sure, JD and Bobby Pierce. They're always fun to watch. Them throwing sliders and all that. I think the first night RTJ will be there. It'll be fun. If he can get the win and then leave and go to Chili Bowl, that'll be cool. That track's really cool because it's a top to bottom track and you'll it blacks off. That's where all the good drivers come in and it's not just hammered down. It's where all the good drivers actually start. Racing gets better whenever it goes to that.
Who
Like,
let's let you want to let him take the first stab at this? I'm curious at who his picks are. I have a guess on whose ours are, but I want to hear his.
if I had to pick to win, I'm gonna say JD. I feel like he's done it before, if I'm not wrong. Done it before. I feel like he could do it again.
And maybe a dark horse pick. Guys like, I remember watching last year, Ross Bales was doing really good in the AK race cars, 69 car, and, Garrett Albertson and Brandon Shepard were also really strong there too. Is there any, dark horses you think? I know Drake Troutman's going to be there. They were saying that he might have a breakout year this year. Any guys like that you have an eye on?
Yeah, I feel like Drake Troutman would do really good. He did really good at Charlotte and the Dome. Whenever I was watching, he was right there on times with JD and all that at the test. He did really good. He has a lot of potential into it. I think he'll be really good this year. He'll be a person to watch. He'll be a person to honestly be behind to learn from, I feel like.
Want to go ahead there, Cushion Banging?
Sure. Just because I know Jacob won't pick him, I think your winner's Bobby Pierce. I think that that package is that shock, the Olins package that a lot of people are migrating to. It was scary in St. Louis. It was scary fast in St. Louis, and I think they figured something out. Wild West Shootout has always been BP 32 kind of time, right? He's one of the most successful ever to go out there, and I don't think it stops now. For a dark horse pick, I won't quite call it a dark horse. You guys are kind of going more on a limb than I will. I think Hudson O'Neal and the Rumley combination is going to be tough. The success they've had, and then bigger track like that, I think they're going to be a contender for sure.
You'll have to agree on your dark horse pick there. No comment on the other, but no, I think Brandon Shepard's going to pick up where he left off last year. I know it's different going back to Central Arizona Raceway instead of Nevada and New Mexico. So, I feel like Brandon Shepard's had some time this offseason to, recollect there with Mark Richards. And I'm sure Rocket's going to come up throwing everything at it. And I think Sheppy will be fast. And then kind of a dark horse guy I have my eye on is Chris Simpson. For some reason, anytime there's when they go out west and they have the Hoker trucking backing and the Mesilla Valley Transportation, the Rio Grande, all those companies that support that area, usually those guys that are sponsored by them do really well at the track. So I have my eye on Chris Simpson, and not only that, but also Ethan Dotson. I know recently just debuted that sweet looking new car, and it's got Olin Shocks logo on the back of the spoiler. So should be interesting to see them switching from Penske over to Olin's.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be the new hottest thing that's going to get passed around the pit area. Everybody's going to be on these Olins, and then some people will work on them, some people won't, and then the new one will kind of surface. But I definitely think that's going to be the topic of conversation: is who's going to be on these and who's not. And I think Arizona would be a good test for that. Who knows what the hell Rumley's going to be on? We have no idea. But I'm sure it'll be something similar. I'm sure he's not, stupid to this setup that's producing speed and producing, balance and everything else. I think it'll be fun. And this is one of the most stacked fields we've had for this. And I don't know if moving tracks had something to do with that. I would have to look at a map. I don't think the Arizona track's any closer to anybody than New Mexico was. New Mexico was a beautiful facility, but it had zero fan support. I hope they get more fan support in Arizona. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Now moving over to the Chili Bowl. Obviously, it's the 40th annual, which is really cool. And Tony Stewart's going to be the grand marshal. And we got guys like, Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson showing up like they do every year. Beckham, coming from with the micro stuff, and you ran Tulsa before. What are you looking forward to with the Chili Bowl? And there's a lot of great guys in the field. I think almost 400 entries. So definitely going to be exciting seeing maybe who's going to win on Saturday.
Yeah, that'll be a really, really good race. I'm always excited to watch that on TV. We'll actually be there to watch this year. We'll be in person to be able to watch. I think that'll be a cool experience. Those cars are really cool. And honestly, if I had to say, I'm going to say Kyle Larson might win that race. I think
Boy, that's a wild pick. Holy moly.
he's been
You
chasing
went
it.
out on the
I feel
limb
like
for
he'll be
that one,
able to
big
do it.
dog.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of guys, go back to back. Larson won it last year, and then the years before, CV went back to back. So definitely Larson's the favorite any track he goes to. I mean, just won over in Australia, won $110,000 with the high limit. So yeah, Larson's gonna be hard to beat. But is there any dark horses? I know you got one of my buddies' hats on, Danny Sams, who we're talking about, one of my fellow Floridians there. So Danny's gonna make a rookie run this year in the midget. He's mostly with the sprint car stuff. But is there any guys in the field that you might want to keep your eye on?
Uh, I know, honestly, I don't know a whole lot of people that'll be there. I do know Hayden Wise will be there. She'll be running the midget there. It'll be her second time, I think. And I hope she's able to make the race and hopefully win it because knowing how she was running at Millbridge and running the midget showdown, I feel like she has a good car and she has good talent to be able to win that race. I think she'll be fun to watch.
What are your picks, Cushabiggin, for guy to keep an eye on Saturday to win, and then a dark horse as well?
I think the dark horse is easier for me than picking the winner. I'm going to pick two dark horses because I'm going to get accused of favoritism on the first. I think RTJ is the biggest dark horse there. I think he's starting to get the experience and the laps around there. He's in good equipment. I think he's got a shot, and he's got the talent to do it. It's just it's all got to work together for a week. And that's hard to do. One night you can get lucky, you can put everything together, but for a solid, 3, 4, 5 days, whatever it might take to do it, I think that's going to be tough. As far as a true dark horse and that I want to get accused of, recent season. I think it's gonna rise and it's gonna happen again. I don't care who it is, but I want somebody to go on a stupid, stupid soup run. I want to see somebody trash it the first night and climb all the way back up. I think the last person to do the biggest one was McDougal. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. I want to see another one of those. That was prime television and you couldn't leave because you didn't know what was going to happen. I think my pick to win and, the low hanging fruit's already gone. Thanks, Mr. Malone. I I think Justin Grant's going to get him one, and it's just a matter of when.
So
I, I think he had a good season. I think he's got the do factor a little bit. He needs some luck to roll his way. He's going to be in obviously top notch equipment. We all know this, and he's got all the talent in the world. He had an incredible 2025, and I think he's got a shot.
yeah, I feel like Justin Grant's kind of not really talked about this year. A couple of years ago when he was running with RMS, and he was kind of at the top of his game. And I know he had that foot injury, which obviously he's a badass. He won some races this year with a boot on his foot and all that. So yeah, I mean he's with Chad Boat and the CB Industries stuff, so he's got good equipment under him. But yeah, that's definitely a solid pick. I feel like a lot of people are forgetting about him, but one of his NOS Energy teammates is Shane Golobic. He's over with the Matt Wood racing guys. And man, Matt Wood always brings great equipment, great cars there. They usually do really good on the prelim night. And I'm going with Shane Golobic to be my dark horse pick. I know he ran really well there last year and locked in. So taking Sugar Shane with that. And then it's kind of, Pursley's year this past season, winning high limit rookie of the year. Just got the Casey Kane ride. He just won at Tulsa Shootout. I got his first driller after 15 years of trying. So I'm taking Dason Pursley to get that Chili Bowl win and get another driller.
Yeah, I knew if I didn't pick Pursley that was a layup to you, and that was a decent alley oop on my effort. I feel like if you think CV and Swindell are going to lay down after last year, I think you're mistaken. I definitely think last year was a fluke, but they still have the speed, and that car is still. I don't know the words. I wouldn't even say balanced. It's not balanced. It looks different. It drives different. It runs the lines nobody else can. And I think if CV gets some little luck, he's going to make them all look silly. So we wanted to throw that in.
Definitely. And looking forward to seeing Beckham there. Maybe we'll hang out, drink some apple juices or something. But yeah, definitely looking forward to that. And back to Beckham before we close out with having, and we appreciate his time. How do you balance, the school aspect? I know, as a young driver, you gotta, take care of your grades. I'm sure with your parents, they're probably hard on you, making sure you got good grades to be rewarded with racing on the weekends.
Yeah, I go to On Track School. It's an online program. It's full of racers. I know Katie Hedger did it. I know a lot of people, like really good racers, have done it. And for my grade part, as long as I don't have a B, I'm fine. Find a race, but I don't have a B.
Dang,
It's not a horrible rule. I support it.
I wouldn't be racing.
I listen. You're lucky if I showed up to school, so I damn sure wouldn't be racing.
And I know it's kind of repetitive and cliche, but I mean, honestly, this racing thing takes so many people to back you with sponsors and crew and your family. So just kind of go through everybody that helps you get to the track. Obviously, it takes a lot, but I know there's a lot of people to thank. So just some of the people that that really are in your life to help progress your racing career.
Yeah, I want to thank my dad, my mom, my sister. I want to thank my tire guy, Corey, or Dalton. Wouldn't be able to be on the track if I didn't have a tire guy. I need somebody to put my tires on my car for me. Then I have my crew chief, Corey. He's been with me for about 7 years, I think. And then I need to thank Wesley Page, Mid Atlantic, Fred Caldwell Chevrolet. I gotta think I don't have a suit on. I can't look down, man.
You're doing good.
Uh, WP Shocks. Wait, I got a car over there. John Percy at Grading. That's all the ones I can see from that car over there. Hyper and Longhorn by WP and
Yeah, great.
God. God. You gotta thank God.
That should have been the first one, man. Come on.
Save the best for last.
Yeah, a lot of drivers say nowadays, I can't thank them enough, right? And it's a lot of people's pet peeves, like, you can thank them enough. So, yeah, wanted to give a shout out to your sponsors there. And I know your merch website isn't updated yet. All your stuff is sold out. So, obviously, you're a popular guy, but I'm sure you got some new t shirts and hoodie designs coming for this year.
Yeah, honestly, I think we're sold out because we stopped doing that online stuff. To be honest, I think that's the reason we're sold out because it was so much work. We always had to come in here and had to get off of schoolwork for them to be able to print something out over here or something like a label to go ship. It was a lot of work. We always had to at least do a lot of them every day. So I think we honestly stopped doing it since we take the trailer more for people. But we do have a lot of cool shirts out. I think we will start putting more on the site though, so people can buy it from the site. So we should have that back up.
Sounds good. I'll definitely have to cop some merch and maybe cushion banging too. He's a big diecast guy. So if you put any diecasts out, he's probably going to buy like five of them.
Or if you're gonna be at Chili Bowl,
Easy.
I can just bring you a shirt for you.
Heck
Oh,
yeah, that'd be cool.
your car's over there in the case behind me somewhere. I'm not sure where, but it's up there. But yeah, man, thanks for coming on, and we appreciate you. And I'm sure one of us, probably more so Jacob than me, because you run mostly Southern, but he'll see you. Hopefully I do too, someplace.
Yeah, thanks, Beckham. And if anybody wants more information on him, go to BeckhamMaloneRacing.com. And yeah, thanks for joining us and best of luck this year. I'll be rooting you on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.